Hello, welcome to Furious Driving, and today we're doing a little bit of car management, as in putting things in the right places for winter. Now, as you look around this drive, you'll see things in one of two ways, very much a glass half full, glass half empty kind of a situation. Some people will look around this fairly full parking area and say there's too many cars there. You people are seeing the world in completely the wrong way. What you're seeing here is not enough space, not too many cars. Now, the problem here is the fault of one person. Not me, no, Quentin. Quentin, the Rover Convertible, was meant to be here just very briefly, fixed up in time for summer 2021. The summer that's just been, of course. Then we sold on to some happy, sun-loving, Rover-enjoying classic car lover who's going to continue to take care of and enjoy this lovely convertible Rover. I'm part vampire, I don't like going in the sun at all, so it was never going to be the car for me, but I'm really glad we did get it rescued. However, because I've got that lovely new roof on it and the new paint and everything, Quentin is now stealing the garage, the lock-up garage, which is a little way from home, which is normally shared by either the Mini, the Alpha, or the Rover Coupe. The Rover Coupe I've had to go and borrow a driveway for as well because I've run out of driveway space. Today though, I've been offered a barn storage for one car to keep a car safe for winter, and Quentin is going to go there. So while we're on the way there, I can go and tell you what's happening with Quentin, because that is possibly my most asked question in the comments, as in what's happened to Quentin. So firstly, we'll head off in the Mini. The Mini can have the garage back. I was tossing up between whether to bring the Alpha or the Mini back, but I've got a new radio to put in the Alpha, so I'm going to do the Alpha's radio before that goes into the garage. These two are always a toss-up because this is a very rare car, 202nd Mini ever built, which makes it a little bit of a collector's piece, whereas the Alpha, though, is astonishingly rare just because there's none left. So which one do you keep dry? I'm hoping that barn comes off before too long. Right, let's go. This is a car it's always a shame not to be driving. It's so much fun. It's, if I'm brutally honest, of all the kind of hot hatchy kind of cars I've got, the Coupe, the Alpha, this, I don't know, I've not tried the VI yet, this is kind of the best all-rounder. I need to do a bit of a review of all the cars at some point, just to drive more back-to-back of my own cars. That'd be fun one day. Now, here's that nerve-wracking bit when we open the lock-up door and just hope the car is still in there. Yes, hello Quentin, how are you? Right, this car, oops, does still look absolutely fantastic, and it is notable by its presence. I'll get this thing started and I'll tell you all about what the situation with this thing is once we're on the road. Incidentally, my foam roofing and plastic sheeting does seem to be doing the trick at keeping the car clean and dry here, because previously the Mini and the Tomcat have been getting pretty grim inside this garage, but this inner roof I've made inside it does seem to be doing the trick at keeping the cars rather nice. Well, I did take the battery home for two reasons, partly to give it a top-up charge because it's been parked for a couple of weeks up here. So I had borrowed this battery, or taken it out, for two reasons. Partly, in fact three reasons, let's say security, because that sounds like a sensible thing. It wasn't that, but I'll pretend it was. Secondly, it was to give it a bit of a recharge, because even though it had been disconnected, they do seem to go flat a bit when they're parked a while. And thirdly, because I wanted to go and give it a try on the VI, to go and see if that would get past the immobiliser not working problem. Needless to say, I never bothered trying, so it's back here in Quentin, and I'll have to go and buy a new battery for the VI before too long. Incidentally, do you like my new middle size, what size is this? It's the 3/8, isn't it? Bigger than a quarter. I'll call it middle size ratchet wrench. New soft touch grippy one. There's a link to this thing in the description below to my Amazon store. I do get a few pennies if you go and buy any of this Draper stuff over there. I'm using the Draper stuff still because I'm really continually impressed with the quality of it. It always works well for me, never breaks, never lets me down. As I say, head down to the link in the description below. There is a whole list of affiliate items where you can see what I'm using. Please start. There will be a brief interlude when I go and get this battery checked. The car clicked, but then nothing. Now it won't even do the central locking, so I'm assuming this battery, which I can't think how old it is, it must be just over a year old now. I think it might be dead already. I don't understand how. Right, Take two. It turns out this is June 2020 this was bought. It's actually a lot older than I had realised. Well, it's over a year though, it's out of warranty, so I had to go and spend another 40 quid on another new battery. Let's be whipping this thing in. And hopefully the car will start this time. Second time lucky, as they say. Oh, the Rover terminals are the absolute worst. I think before I sell this car, I'll put some more terminals on this thing because these are just absolute rubbish. Right, is this going to work? Hooray! Now, does the central locking work? That bodes badly. Ugh. Hooray! It's alive! Quentin lives! Oh my god. I cannot tell you how relieved I am right now about that. Well, finally I am mobile an hour after I planned to be. Good old Quentin. I don't know why the battery's died, because it's not been abused, it's not been left on connected to the car, but it's not been parked for months. Whenever it's been parked up, it's either on a battery tender or disconnected entirely, so I'm a bit confused why it's died, but it was a cheapy battery and it's now over a year old, so nothing I can do about that, so £40 worse off. I did actually weigh in 5 batteries from around the garage yesterday, got 25 quid for that. And I was for a moment thinking that I'd actually weighed in the wrong battery, weighed in the good one and kept one of the old knackered ones by mistake. But the date and the battery and everything were all correct, so it was just one that died. So I've got another new battery in this one now, so when the car sells in a year, it will be with a new battery again. So yes, I didn't film all of the exchanging and stuff because, as I say, someone is waiting for me at the barn. It's not a barn I can just walk up to and let myself into. I've got to arrange times to meet people up there. So it's a long-term storage barn, not an access barn, if that makes sense. So, right, what has happened with Quentin over the last few months? I hear you ask, repeatedly actually in the comments and on Twitter and Facebook. Well, obviously, Quentin didn't sell. I think the fact I'm sitting in it right now speaks for itself. You may or may not know this, but selling cars is actually as seasonal as summer holidays. You can sell a 4x4 at this time of year, no bother, and can even bump the price up if there's a hint of snow in the weather forecast. Getting rid of a convertible this time of year, not so easy. Come springtime, however, your prices on convertibles will actually rise. You'll notice on car dealers, they have dumped all their convertible stock already. You'll struggle to find a convertible anywhere for sale at a dealer, classic or modern. Well, the plan was to get this car ready for spring, summer 2021. This year, obviously. And things were kind of on track. The roof went on, and the roof was a massive transformation. It was a big expense and a lot of work getting it done. It was about £1,000 in, you know, making the fabric stuff happen. Plus, of course, the metal frame it sits around had to be fitted. But once that was on, the paint was looking just so shabby because it was all scratched up on the bonnet where someone had changed it to a less good bonnet. There was lacquer peel in a lot of places, just little nicks and dings that a car 25 whatever years old will pick up over time. So I decided that I needed to have, at the very least, the front end of the car painted, but the price they quoted me and they persuaded me that really, and I agreed, that the whole entire car needed painting, so that the top and the bottom looked as good as each other. And of course, once that was done, the wheels looked incredibly shabby and the tyres were knackered as well, so we spent time doing the alloy wheel refurbishment and getting new tyres on it. I might have to go backwards here. I'm trying to avoid this bridge, it's a bit of a pain. But unfortunately, in the middle of all of that, the painter got COVID. But that did mean the car was set back about 2 months across the summertime, and that by the time everything was put back together, and as it should be, the summer was over. I didn't get the car back until, well, autumn, at which point no one wants a convertible. And the other thing to remember is this is now priced fairly high as far as convertibles go. You can pick one up for, well, very little indeed. You can also find the really nice ones for up to £7,000. And this car really is too nice to let go for just beer money and pocket money, when it, apart from the fact it owes me £4,500, I know I'm going to lose money on that. The point was to make the car a good car, not to try and make a profit. I did at one point fleetingly think maybe I would, but no, that was never going to happen once I really got into the project. Just to kind of sell the car for what it's worth. So, having been offered a space in this barn over winter time, I will leave it parked up until, well, the MOT is due in February. So I'll get it back out the barn in February time with a fresh MOT, spring in the air, hopefully a summer breeze in the sky. We can then look at selling it, hopefully for what it's worth. And the car will go to a happy new owner who enjoys driving it. I will of course still be very sad to see it go. My son desperately wants me to keep it, but there's not room for everything. And there's a lot of money tied up in it. It's up for 4,000. If I sold it for even 3,000, that would cover painting both the Tomcat and the VI back at the place where this was done. And the crazy thing is, it works so well right now. The radio works, the electric aerial works, the electric roof works fine. Everything on this car works. It doesn't even leak. This is among my best cars, crazily, and it's actually quite a nice thing to drive around in if you're not driving. So here we are in the big barn behind big steel doors, CCTV and giant gates. It doesn't really get safer than this. It's warm and dry and out of the elements. The car is ceramic coated and polished to within an inch of its life, so it looks fantastic. Safe and dry under a cover, so it won't even get dusty and dirty before springtime. In the new year, we'll whip the cover off, reconnect the battery, go and do a fresh MOT, and the car will look absolutely fantastic, ready for a new owner to enjoy all through the next summer. Well, we'll see you again in a couple of months, Quentin. Sleep well. So now, once again, we're in the car with our old friend Jace, who's chauffeuring us back from Quentin's hibernation slumber zone. Hopefully he'll be safe for the winter, and we'll catch up with him in a couple of months' time when the snow has been and gone and the good weather's back again. So thank you for watching. I hope you now
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe.
Yeah, that stuff.
Become a friend of the channel.
Yeah.
Merchandise is available.
He knows all this stuff. Become a friend of the channel, hit Patreon. Merchandise is available. Like and subscribe. Yes, he does this better than me.
Well, you know, you do need patronising.
No one patronises more than you.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for watching. I hope everyone is now satisfied in the knowledge that Quentin is safe for the time being. However, he is still for sale. We'll try and sell him again in the new year. But if anyone wants to take a convertible home for Christmas, then you know where he is. Well, not precisely where he is. Drop me an email. I'll see you again next time. Take care, everybody.